My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to the Tavern Brawl here in Hearthstone, the Blackrock Crash one for the Fire Festival. We've still got Lazul that we need to beat the boss with. And Lazul is bad, not good, terrible. At least compared to the other characters. As far as I've found so far, let me mark that. Definitely. It's possible they changed the deck. I mean, they did that for a couple of the characters in... is there anything I even want to dominate here? I don't think there is. It's possible they changed the deck because they did that for a couple of the characters that were... Oh, I should have thrown the Mind Blast so I could Shadow Visions it. I forgot there's a Shadow Visions in this deck. But it is possible they have changed the deck for this character, despite the fact that it definitely looks like they haven't at the moment with the cards that I've mulled. Because they did that with some of the characters in the solo adventures. I finally finished the sentence. They said it couldn't be done. Yeah, screw it. I want a Loot Hoarder in the deck. I've got to stop being so scared to use the Amulet of Domination. Because, like, one of the only, like, broken cards that you can get with it is Son of the Flame. Son of the Flame is in the Ragnaros encounter. That is the last encounter. You never get to use it. I was also really happy to take that Loot Hoarder and then get the draw from it, because it was going to mean I had a pretty big Twilight Drake out there.
I am low on cards.
Also a little bit short of lethal. Ooh. Was Acolyte of Agony in this deck? Was Acolyte of Agony originally in this deck? I don't remember. Hello, Dune Mole.
I am out of cards.
And yeah, Forbidden Words. I should have known that because I mulled it in my opening hand. Right then. Give me... Ooh! A couple packs there for the Fire Festival, thank you. Oh! And another. It's the muscle, right? Yeah, like, it gets you so much control over the board in just a single turn. This I think is actually Afterlife. Like, we do have another Death Rattle in the deck. Obviously, we have the Evil Conscriptor in here as well. The Crystalline Oracle. Any Death Rattles we could get from the Muscle. Unsleeping Soul is obviously anti-Death Rattle. But two Titolans. Titolan is really, really, really good. I like Titolan a lot. But maybe Mass Hysteria and Psychic Scream are a lot better. Get me some cards that do the board removal for me. It's definitely not Miracles, so it's either Twisted or Afterlife. I think Afterlife... If I had bigger Death Rattle minions in here, I wouldn't take Afterlife, but they're 4-drops. So these are just great minions to control the board. We only have like 2 4-drops in the entire deck, so it only adds to our high end a little bit here. But furthermore than that, N'Zoth doesn't even need to be played, but if we get in a sticky situation, we happen to outlast our enemy, which if we're ever going to outlast our enemy into the late game, it would be as Lazul, because we have the ability to debuff our enemy's minions.
Lazul
So maybe.
Baron, get on!
Baron, get on! I've always been burying the O. Like Baron Geddon? Maybe it's just a accent differential, but I'm going to assume that that is a decree from on high as to how it should be said. So Baron Geddon. Just sounds like I'm encouraging you to ride in some sort of a vehicle. I could kill this. Or I could just drop the Evil Conscriptor. Well, I could drop the Evil Conscriptor or the Loot Hoarder. Is the average card in my deck better or worse than a Lackey? Much worse. Play the Conscriptor.
Take to the streets.
Hey, that's exactly what I wanted right there, thank you. It's very important here that I make sure that I play enough every turn to have no unspent mana. Lest I die. Amulet of Domination, I'll happily take a Imp Gang. Well, that didn't happen. That's totally okay, though. Flame Waker is not... Nah. Nah. Not my kind of thing. Look at that, Totolin. Yep. I'm just gonna go straight for the face. I don't have to care about anything else here. The enemy doesn't have that many, like, great comeback mechanics here. Like, the best one is Living Bomb, but it's delayed in usefulness by a turn. I'm gonna play the muscle here just so I can see what we get. Could have been better, could have been worse. Second is our... That's cheap. That's cheap Afterlife again. 2 Shadow Word Deaths is overkill here. I would love to... Like, if this was Shadow Word Death, Shadow Word Pain, and then... just some other related card, but not a second Shadow Word Death, it would be like a great kind of just like flexible pick. I wouldn't want to continue picking that bucket, but it'd just be super handy. But I don't know here. Like, Gilded Gargoyle is really, really totally fine for us. Twilight's Call is incredible for us, especially considering the density of low-cost Death Rattles we have in the deck. And Spirit Singer Umbra, I mean, one of the biggest thing about Spirit Singer Umbra here is that it's when you summon a minion, trigger its Death Rattle effect, not when you play a minion. So any minions summoned from N'Zoth will trigger their Death Rattle effects. Any minions summoned from Twilight's Call will trigger their Death Rattle effects. That kind of thing. It's very important to know. Okay, so we fight Omnitron, and then we get our next treasure choice, I think.
Lazul
I cannot recall.
versus Omnitron defense system.
So, Amulet of Domination here, obviously I would mull it back into the deck and then look for Shadow Vision, so I can Shadow Visions out of an Amulet of Domination. Then I can have 2 Amulets of Domination. One of them takes Arcanatron, one of them takes Electron, if at all possible. This is effectively my wish list. So Arcanatron is the first minion the enemy summons, and it's just a 0 mana 2/2. 0 mana 2/2, great, I love it. Like it, love it. And you know I want more of it. There's Arcanatron. So it's 2 mana for my enemy to summon using their hero power, but 0 mana card. I wouldn't benefit from the spell damage at all, but a 0 mana 2/2 is a 0 mana 2/2. I was really hopeful I was actually going to be able to keep my minion there. This is now a concern. Unfortunately, the enemy has both of their Cogmasters out. Cogmasters is basically the most aggressive card that this deck has. But I don't want to kill the Arcanatron. But killing the Arcanatron is like the only way that I currently have to remove that damage from the field. Fine. I'm not pleased that this is what I have to do, but it's what I have to do. I can't just have the enemy bot me for 1 billion damage every turn. Totolin. Oh, I love this. Oh, big ol' stat minion. Watch as they don't... Oh! I thought they weren't going to attack with the Cogmaster, and then they were just going to lose it to the Toxitron next turn. So Toxitron, 1 mana 3/3. At the start of your turn, deal 1 damage to all other minions. I would happily take this as well. Probably won't get to, but I would. Happily. So after this minion dies, I have had 2 minions die. Why is that important?
The greatest virtue is shells.
Yeah, so now I've had 2 minions die, so the Twilight's, or rather 2 Death Rider minions die, so the Twilight's Call is gonna summon. No! It's gonna summon both of them and get. Certainly one way to play the video game. There's the Amulet of Domination we were looking for. You gotta love it. I can evolve this minion. Like, it's only a 1-1 at the moment, but if I... Oh, no, this isn't the evolve. This isn't Witch's Lackey. It's Faceless Lackey. Dang. Well, I'm gonna take Electron next turn, then. Maybe I should stick around and take Magmatron thereafter. Maybe. Maybe. But I've yet to meet one who can outsmart Bullet. Right. So, 3 mana, 5/5? Totally fine. All spells cost 3 less? Slightly relevant to us. We might put more spells in this deck, I don't know. It's a possibility. It's a distinct possibility. Oh, that's a deep pull. That's from a... It's a distinct possibility. It's from a Monty Python sketch where the headmaster of a school has to explain to a parent how children are born. Oh, love me some Monty Python. Yeah, here it's just about controlling the board. Let's get those out of here. Easy trades across on both of those parts. That Micro Machine does have to die. So I'm really effectively controlling the board. We've only got 6 cards left in the deck. We've got a minion on the board that will die and draw us a card. So we're only 4 turns from the bottom of our deck. Here's the Magmatron, right? 5 mana. Whenever a player plays a card, Magmatron deals 2 damage to them. I feel like that's mostly going to damage us. So I don't know if I actually want that. It's entirely possible I just wait and then let my enemy have their hero power activate again, because activate now is activate a random Tron, because they've already cycled through all of the Trons in the game.
Hey, get there.
Yeah, that's what we do. And I am just going to be waiting. Yeah, I'm just going to be waiting until the enemy gets another Electron, I think, here. Magmore is a 10-2 taunt for 5. I don't even know if I would put that in a deck. So easy to kill it. Toxitron doesn't make sense. I've only got 3 cards left in deck. I think I can sack this now. I'm not going to attack the enemy here. I don't want to give them the possibility that they play some sort of card that self-damages. Like, I know the bosses aren't supposed to murder themselves, but they do on the reg. I want that one.
I am ready.
Oh! Like that! Well, I can't gamble that they're not going to kill themselves next turn. Can I? I think I can. I think if they have that in their deck, there's no way they don't have some sort of scripting that says, hey, don't kill yourself with this one. I'm gonna now just casually N'Zoth. Summons a bunch of death rattles, all of which trigger their effects.
I am low on cards.
So many coins. I don't want to burn the top card of my deck, so I actually will play a coin here. But only after I murder you, then coin. And I'll even Kobold Lackey there. Come on, don't you dare. That's an Electron. Our spells are so cheap right now. Like a Miracle deck If I just found a Lyra, for example, this deck becomes nutty. Like, we just go... not that it's...
I am out of cards.
Thank you for delaying this by an extra turn. Much appreciated. Can I heal the enemy anyway here? No, I don't think I naturally do. I could use the... Hang on. It'd be coin, muscle, add 3 cards to my hand. I'm looking for a heal just to give it to the enemy. That's not gonna do it. Don't you dare die. It's fine.
Something needs tinkering.
That's also beautiful. Yeah, I'm taking one of the electrons. We're good. Get him. Got him good. But it would effectively just be Lyra, Electron, and then every spell. 3 radial elementals in 1? Yes, thank you. That's 2 Cthunes. Shadow Visions is a spell that would cost nothing with a single copy of Electron out on the field, and then pulls another spell that probably costs nothing. Forbidden's Shaping doesn't have its cost affected. Copy a card from your copy a spell from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand. I mean, that would actually be pretty effective for us. Cabal Shadow Priest? That'd be really effective versus Gar, just for stealing a Fire... No, wouldn't be, because the Fire Swans die on turn 5, unless they're, like, buffed or summoned again using the summon 3 Fire Swarm cards. But if you get to the point where your enemy summons 3 Fire Swarms with the spell, you've probably already won. Because that often implies you've already cleared the board. This is not good. I think this is the best pack. This is a spell that gets a spell. This is a spell that gets a spell. Less selection, sure, but easy to keep in the opening hand. Speaking of easy to keep in the opening hand, Crystal and Oracle was way easy to keep in the opening hand. Death Rattle Synergy. And Cabal Shadow Priest might be effective at some point in time, who knows. I don't need another old god in this deck. We got a lot of old gods in this deck. Now, one problem with the draft there is that the low-cost minions that were offered in each of the 2 packs I was considering both have 1 HP, which means that they just die when my enemy takes their turn here. So we need, like, an early conscriptor? What are they called?
I foresaw this encounter.
Okay, hang on. So we're taking the first turn. So we take the first turn. They deal 1 damage to all of their minions. Okay, so after our 5th turn, they will deal the 5th point of damage to all of their minions. However, if I have Gilded Gargoyle and Cabal Shadow Priest, I can coin out the Cabal Shadow Priest on my turn 5, take one of my opponent's Gars away from them. That also is another minion that I can just play early that will be able to bop one of the enemy minions. I could play on curve with the Titolan, but I'm looking for something that's a 2-drop here, ideally. Or Forbidden Words. Boom. Got him. Just in case you have not watched any of the other episodes, Firesworn. Deal 1 damage to the enemy hero for each Firesworn that dies this turn. It's important to note that if they die consecutively, then the first one deals 1, then 2, then 3, right? But if they all die at the same time, all of them deal, 6, as the case is currently on the board.
Mind if I roll me?
Conscriptor is what I actually wanted really early. Sad to have not gotten it. Hey, thank you. That's actually... If their HP values are different from one another, that's really good for us. Amulet of Domination on these Fire Swans is garbage. It's a 0 mana 0/5 that has a Death Rattle effect that is only good if you have a bunch of them. Don't you dare kill my minion. Don't you... Oh, on that one as well. Didn't want that. Yeah. Well, next turn, I'm just going to coin Cabal Shadow Priest that.
Preserve us. Bathe in flame.
I still take the minion. Come in. Ball.
Change your mind. That one needs time to get ready.
So this turn, I am going to take a total of 16 damage. All 4 of them die. All 4 of them register that 4 of them have died this turn. And please attack my Fire Sworn. Do it. Oh, do it. Do you take 5 now? That's wrong. The card text specifically says deal 1 damage to the enemy hero for each Fire Sworn that died this turn. 4 of them died, and then a 5th one died, and it only dealt 1 damage. I know that it's changing targets, but the card implies that that would work. Damn. Yeah. I don't know if I want any of those.
Shells up.
Yeah, I don't want any minions my enemy is currently offering me here. There you go. Have another Fire Swarm.
Bathe in flame.
I really, really would like the ability to equalize here, just like HP. Don't know where I'm getting HP from. HP. Bad draw. Real bad draw.
Obey.
I'm just gonna try and summon so much that the enemy can't. Full stop. Alright, with that many Fire Sworn on the field, this is actually now a race game. It's a race. Life's a race, and I'm gonna win. Yeah, I'm gonna win. I will light the fuse, and I'll never lose, because I choose to survive, whatever it takes. I remember when that album came out, Second Law by Muse. I remember when that album came out, and a lot of my friends were what we would, in retrospect, refer to as giant Muse stans. They were all real mad at that album, and it was the first Muse album I got into. I loved it. They eventually came around to it, thankfully, because it is really good. I took Hand of Reform here, largely based off of the amount of times that I have been told that, hey, Hand of Reform is incredible in this mode. And also, I played a little on my own time. Oh, Hand of Reform is incredible in this mode. Mind Games? It's a good minion. Right? Mind Games is a pretty good minion to just play after an Electron. The Undertaker isn't necessarily that great. Not true. Death Rattles is a game. They're pretty weak Death Rattles is the thing. But an 8-mana minion with 3 Death Rattles on it is pretty common. Pretty commonly would happen, rather. Gives me a little bit more on the high end. Gives me another 2-drop, of which I only have 2. Yeah, it gives me another 2-drop. A large part of this is literally just that it gives me another 2-drop. Atramedes. I don't play that many cards in a turn. Atramedes to me feels a lot like just play your biggest minion pass.
Versus Atramedes.
I hear your heart beating.
I
To the beat of a drum.
foresaw this encounter.
It was clear that you came here with someone, I think. Pretty sure that's how that one goes. Oh, right. The enemy doesn't have their weapon equipped yet, so I can just summon the Crystalline Oracle happily. The weapon equips at a 0-6. I'll probably just wait until Electron's out before I do anything. Yeah, because I can Shadow Visions this turn, but I can't get any card that I'm going to play this turn, so I may as well just Electron. I'll have more information about the board state. I'll Electron, I'll Shadow Visions, I'll pull a card from the deck, probably play that, and then Reverberate at the very end, because this is another spell, so Electron's just debuffing its cost. I was about to say, I also don't want Electron out yet, but that was never an option, so good work, right? I actually could have destroyed my enemy's weapon there, exclusively so that they had to re-equip it this turn, so that they couldn't play one of the curses out of their hand. But they didn't play a curse out of their hand anyway, so I'm okay with it. Look at all this electrical action. I may want to Amulet of Domination that... Again, it's another 2-drop, and it's a Death Rattle. It's synergistic in a couple different ways. It also clears it from my enemy's board, where it would actually be a struggle for me to clear. I mean, damn. It's very likely this turn my enemy just hero power. Oh, they can play the curses for free! I am Boo Boo the Fool. I've done clownery, and the clown came back to bite. I'm killing a weapon again this turn because we're so far ahead of the enemy that basically forcing them to use a mana every single turn just to get their weapon back out is real cruel. Thank you for buffing my board, much appreciated. That's 6, 6, 5, 6, 5, 11. Obviously just a little bit short of lethal right there. And another weapon down. One important thing to remember is while they give you 3 reverberating gongs, almost all of the time you need 1 reverberating gong. So use them free. Use them fast and footloose. Go for it. Have a great time with them. You hear that? The planes fly so low overhead that I am a little scared. Just a touch. That it's about to crash. It always sounds so low to the ground. Alright, Nefarian. What you got, bud? You're generating extra spell every turn. Okay, this is a problem. I may not want to play Electron against Nefarian, just because their hero power is just add a spell, add a random spell to your hand. This is great, because Twilight Drake I can still probably end up playing on curve, but Psionic Probe replaces itself, Loot Hoarder gives me board presence and then replaces itself, so I'm not going to be running out of cards for the sake of the Twilight Drake's HP. But yeah, it's always a spell, right? Yeah. Random spell from your opponent's class.
Job's done.
Dragon's Breath. They're forced to hero pound this turn, so they can't get a curse out of hand. Probably doesn't have a 1-drop either. Hopefully they ignore the minion, because then I could Shadow Fiend and then trade my own minion, get a discount on my new minion. Have a good time like that. I suspect they will trade though. Certainly a unique approach to attack. Yeah, that's how I'll refer to it, a unique approach to take.
Job's done.
When your board state can control a minion like that, I don't understand wasting such a valuable spell here as well. Because like in response, I could have just played Shadow Fiend and then traded against. But I guess the enemy doesn't care about value, right? They just care about tempo. Yeah, that makes sense. They wouldn't care about value. They care about tempo. The enemy's not going to be healing past this point, so I don't have to worry about the White Warden getting mad buffed. Like, they are taking pre-spells from me. They've taken, what, 4 so far, but it's not likely that they're going to heal a bunch of characters and then bop the face or something like that. Not into that. So we're going to Tolan. I do actually want the Haunted Creeper to die here. Gives me a little bit more board control. It also gives me more minions to sack off to reduce the cost of the Dragon's Breath if I want to play that later. I do want to play that later. It's just how much later.
I wield the power.
I don't have enough dragons in my deck to steal Blackwing Corruptor and feel good about that. Am I using my hero power this turn? Am I using my hero power this turn? So I kill this minion, this goes down to 3. Cast the 3 over that side. Yeah, I don't have anything else that I can even do, so. Reduce the damage I take just a wee bit here. Just keep my control over the board. So the enemy's only played one of the curses out. He's currently generating cards into a full hand as well. Love it. I've had 2 Death Rattles die so far, so the Undertaker is getting much better, but... Oh, it gets a lot better when we do this. I also had a Loot Hoarder die, so I've actually had it die. Yeah, I've actually had enough die. That said, this lines up way better against the enemy's board. And also, I can't play the Undertaker this turn. That's a more salient point, I feel.
For Blackwing.
Yeah, I don't need to sack any of these minions to try and get their Death Rattle effects to be pulled here. Crystalline, Loot, and Totolan. Nice. Not bad pulls there. I only learned from watching Trump try and speedrun through this that you can click to prevent the card resolutions from coming up and hanging on screen for that long. I really wish I had that information beforehand. Spirit Singer into The Undertaker seems like a good time. I just don't know if I'm going to be capable of doing it. I think I should just be going face, right? Yeah, I should just be going face. That's a glance across to the time of a... Ooh, hang on. I need to be out of here at some point.
Your time be up.
I'm really lucky in... I am really, really lucky in that I haven't drawn my electrons, right? Because they would be dead draws for us. I hate that I lost that minion.
I don't make mistakes. I bury them.
Okay. Resolve those quickly. Cool. I'm not in love with the enemy's board state right now. Thank you. Now I love it. Tit to toe. Huge fan. I was so hoping they were about to run into this. Well. So we have a little bit more board presence than I was expecting. I'm gonna play the Electron and then silence and summon a copy of it, because what's the enemy gonna do now, right? They're silenced. You don't even get the effect. It'd be so tragic if I had 2 actual Electrons out here right now. Alright, we got this.
Yes, yes. Well played.
If I had the Amulet of Domination, I would take that. I was really hopeful I was about to top deck it there.
I will be back.
I don't doubt it. Shadowy Figure. Transform into a 2/2 copy of a friendly Death Rattle minion. We actually have enough Death Rattle minions in this deck that I think that's workable, that is. Also, both of the other packs there were complete garbage. So I may want to hard mull here for Electrons. The reason being that the biggest thing about this fight is you want to be able to play your cards out as quickly as possible. The enemy probably also has a bunch of spells they would be able to play. But if I can play all of my spells, my enemy will just draw me into more of them, because their hero power is draw both players 2 cards. Or rather, both players draw 2 cards. Is there anything I want to dominate here? Other than Velastras? There's our Electron. Sadly, that is also probably going to help our enemy play out these curses way too quickly. Yep. Just resolve those. All right, you get to burn 2 cards. Ooh, one of those was real important. All right, so I'm helping my enemy play the thing here. Yeah, I'm not super into it, but kind of got to do it, don't I? I could play Crystalline and Museum. Yeah, if I'm not benefiting from Electron first, my enemy is. That's not a good a scenario we're hoping for. Resummoning Voodoo Doll or getting Voodoo Doll back from any sort of like Twilight's Call or Undertaker is just going to be so bad. Sonic Probe. Yeah, Shadow Fiend would have been so good. Do I want to dominate that? The final boss is Ragnaros. I think I actually just dominate that for board control. Enemy gets to play their Cursed now. I'm trying to get as many cards out of hand so that I can actually play this muscle and get some benefit from it. Oh, you're gonna double tail swipe it? No. Oh, there's another tail swipe. Corruption after you tail swept it. What are these high level plays? I'm so unfamiliar with this kind of play. This isn't tempo. This isn't value. This isn't control. It's certainly not aggro. I don't even know what my enemy's doing.
My hand is full.
Just bigger than I can get with the Cabal. It might just be Forbidden Words. Go face. No, it's not. It's not. It's Titolan. Debuff, go face. This just makes it way easier for me to just focus on the face the entire time. Oh,
My hand is full.
Yeah, I lose this off, but it's fine.
Out the road, out. Out the road, out. hand is full.
Oh, I lost my electron. Okay, so currently in hand, we have a minion that will completely kill the entire enemy board. So, let's do that. Ooh, I actually got the Mind Blast as well. I was so scared I was going to burn that on the top deck. What is this? What is this? What are you doing? Oh! Oh, it was all to debuff, lower the cost of these volcanic drakes. I get you. Don't you dare kill both of them. Alright, that makes sense.
My hand is full.
Need just one more damage. One more damage. We're gonna celebrate. Oh, yeah. I want to play the Mind Blast, just get out of my hand. So I currently have 4 minions on board. It doesn't look like it, but I do. 3. 2. 1.
My hand
Yeah,
is full.
exactly. Because they had to clear every single one of them. So I knew I was in a position where, like, I have effectively 4 minions on board. Choose a treasure. It's another ambulance. Oh! It's very late for me to get that effect, but I'll take it. I also have a lot of early game death rattles. I'm probably going to overfill my hand a lot of the time here. I'm going to overfill my hand. I don't mulligan Twilight Drake at all, ever, here. That stopped as soon as I got that totem. Electron is so good in the early game, and a Shadow Visions. I mean, I'm keeping it. Just great stats for a 3-mana minion. The enemy lowering the cost of their spells. Do I care about that? I don't think I do. I don't think they'll utilize it as well as I will. Going through. Maybe this is what actually originally got me to start clicking as much as I do in between turns, just so I can skip all of my opponent's animations. Makes sense. Ah, never mind. You're gonna swing and kill my minion, of course.
Electron powered up.
It's so much value. I have to take the Twilight's Call. I wanted to take the Mind Blast and just go for the enemy's face, but controlling the board in the early game is really important here, because if the enemy gets Sulfurous, it's Death Rattle active, then life is sad. Oh, don't you dare Flame Heart through your whole deck now. That'd be so tragic. No. Yeah, better minions. Like that. Alright, here's my turn. Amulet Domination you. Trade you off, get the buff. Twilight's Call. Back to you. Whenever this minion takes damage, summon a 2/3 elemental with taunt. Ooh, I like one of those as well. That said, it doesn't have to take damage. I can just... No, I can't. Damn it. Damn it. I was hoping to hit it with a Cabal Shadow Priest, but I'm 1 mana short. It's So my hero power, and I'm down to 5. And then this only needs to be cast for 2, so I only had 3 mana to play with, which means I just don't really have any mana to play with, right? Yeah. I don't want to put too many minions on the board because the enemy does have a Brawl. Despite the fact that mine will always win the Brawl, the enemy does have them. Just let it draw. The Undertaker is too late here, I think. Probably Twilight and Agony, and then go all face. More minions I have, the far better off we are. So Corrin wins. What? Huh? That's so lucky. I can't believe I got Corrin to... Oh, whoa. Who are you? Big elemental friend. And... God, that's going to be way too much draw. Thank you for not killing it. The Corehound Pop can actually be really, really rude. Thankfully, the enemy doesn't have any time to capitalize on them. I'm going to play another Undertaker here just because I can. And then I'm going to murder the enemy and I'm going to say, well played. And so ends our journey in the Blackrock Crash PvE adventure of Hearthstone's Fire Festival. After this point, yeah, I went like deliberately quite slow there. It took so long in between screens picking things and just discussing things. So that means that next episode, we're going to be flipping back to the previous one. Maybe later. For the moment though, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Hearthstone. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves and hopefully we'll see you next time.